Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that golf is a club and ball sport in which players use various clubs to hit balls into a series of holes on a course in as few strokes as possible?
Yeah, I did know that.
Can I tell you this? Hold on.
I know golf is a good walk spoiled.
No, okay. We're not golf fans. But if you're a golf fan, that's fine.
Yeah.
My golf is usually regulated to concrete dragons and windmills. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? When I looked this up in golf, and it's in the minute, so we'll get there.
Sure.
That was like the most succinct description I have ever heard of golf. Thanks, Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. Wow. Like, and when you think about how simple the game is, it's so boring. Because it's...
Yeah.
And again, no affront to people who love golf. That's good for you. Yes, it is. Do you know what, though, I've never thought about when I was thinking about this is that, okay, you think of all the ball games that are played in the world, right?
Yes.
It is the only ball game that the playing area is completely non-standard.
Oh, that's true.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's where
the point of it is that it's not standard.
I mean, that is an integral part of the game, and that's where the challenge comes from. So, I mean, trust me, I respect the game of golf. For most people, sure, I understand that. Here's the thing I think is funny though. Imagine you're an actor, and imagine you're an actor of well regard, and you're in a movie, and they say, "Hey, we got to shoot one day. We're going to shoot on a golf course," and you go, "Oh, that's cool. How long's the shoot?" An afternoon. Okay, what are my lines? None. But I'm actually like a guy who's a part. Yeah, we just need you to stand there and just mess around with the golf club. Because there's an actor in this movie who we've talked about, who we love, very endearing actor.
Yes.
It blows my mind that they spent the money to shoot this shot.
Yes.
And he doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Gary Shandling, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into
it's in the
because like we said about golf, you could talk about the ecological terrorism of making all the different courses, but we're here to talk about movies. So let's get into minute 88 of Iron Man 2 from directed by Mr. Jon Favreau from the far off year of 2010. But we're not on the golf course. No, we're still in the workshop because we're picking up where we left off, which is Tony Stark looking at a triangle. Ooh. So after the big sciencey science of the last one, now we get into the what hath God wrought part of it. So we have Tony. So this is actually something Jon Favreau was pretty pleased about because the way they shot this, they actually had very, very small LED lights. Yeah. And so he's not actually holding the triangle. So it's basically there's just an LED light that's shining. So all the light that's on his face is actually real light. Like, it's not like you were talking about in the last minute. It's not computer added light. So that's the difference, he said, from the first one to the second one. They found out how they could do this, how they could make very small, very powerful lights. And so they have the actual real light on the actors' faces for these things. And we're going to see that twice in this minute. So we have Tony's looking, and he's looking at the little triangle that he has created. And Jarvis says, "Congratulations, sir. You have created a new element." And it's so weird to hear Jarvis talking now because I'm like, is the Vision in this movie? That's so weird. Like,
I know.
It's so weird now that as you're listening to this in a post WandaVision world, as we're somewhere in the midst. I mean, like, I don't want to pin down our exact where we are in the timeline, but yeah, we're currently enjoying WandaVision. And so to hear him here, it's sort of like, oh yeah, back when he was just an AI, back when Paul Bettany would just come in for like 2 hours, and that was his contribution to the movie. So then we get to see Tony then take the triangle and walk over, and he already has built a new arc reactor that this is going to fit into. So he drops it into there, and we see like the little sort of edges close around it, and then it starts like sort of flashing, and then bup, 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 and then like the whole thing sort of lights up, and then we see him looking down, and basically it's working, it's charging up. Rob, None of that existed.
Amazing. I
All of
think
that the whole thing is entirely CG.
okay. Bravo.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I will say, put aside the preposterousness of this whole element of the plot. Absolutely amazingly done. Because when you see him pull that triangle, and you kind of get the impression something's wrong. Like the tweezers that he's using aren't exactly on the triangle, but you know what? Because it's so brilliantly glowing, your mind just doesn't worry about that. And then when the camera like pans up and you see him like put it right in front of his face, you see the glow on his face. That's real glow. They did such a fantastic job of making this look. It's just on the borderline between real and surreal.
Yeah.
And I just think it is just incredibly well done. And then to think that arc reactor doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, even like the side shot where he's like looking like almost nose to nose with it, like that was basically just a blue LED light.
Guys, bravo.
Yeah. And I was watching it preparing for this in HD. It wasn't in 4K, but I was watching it in HD and paused it, and I'm like, I can't tell. Like even knowing that was CG, like that everything, like Robert Downey was there, the blurred background was there, and that was something to add in later. I couldn't even see it.
Well, no, even his hand, when his hand is placing it in there, you get his arm is blurred and it's perfectly blurred over. I mean, okay, you guys, amazing. And I'm glad we're giving all of these props to the people who did this, because I'm then about to dump all over what comes next.
So John Favreau could not remember which special effects company did this, because there's like 4 or 5 companies that worked on there. But like one of them did a lot of work on just this particular thing. So then Jarvis says, "Sir, the reactor has accepted the modified core. I will begin running diagnostics." Which is sort of like, that's interesting, because now Tony's waiting for diagnostics. I remember in the first film, he did not want to wait for diagnostics.
You're waiting.
Took his thing right out and off he went.
You're waiting for him to say, "Yeah, Jarvis, nah, we're not going to worry about that. We're good," right? And just take it and run. But okay, so then we go into a transition.
Yes. Now I gotta say, I love when directors do this. I love matching shots. So you see, Tony Stark is looking into his arc reactor, and they cut to Ivan looking into an arc reactor. Oh, I love that parallelism. Come on, that was well done.
What? No.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Yes, it is and it is kind of the flip, because Tony's on the left side of the screen, Ivan's on the right side of the screen.
Yes,
but it's just a hard cut.
Yeah.
No, you had such opportunities. We've talked about this. We talked about this in season 2. They had an opportunity to like have him look into the arc reactor and then dissolve into this other arc reactor. And you go, wait, why did the arc reactor change? And then pivot the camera up to see Ivan. It could have been so amazing.
I don't disagree with you. I can tell you that probably one of the reasons is this was one of the last things they shot, because this is from the pickups. Because we're going to find out that at the when we get to the big finale, when the movie was being shot initially, there was no Whiplash suit. So this is they came up with this bit to put in there to show him working on things, so that when he shows up in the suit that they had written in for the second draft, that it makes sense.
Oh, so, okay, well, we'll get into this. But first, I got to say, though, because we can't let this go, not only does it hard cut, which, again, it could have been a much more creative transition, which is fine, but I appreciate the parallel. It hard cuts to Ivan and his arc reactor, and...
That's right! Irina's back, baby! Woo! Yay! It's bird time! One of those... They say that was one of the 2 best characters in the movie, and she's back.
Oh, so the other one's not Ivan.
No, that was not Ivan. Yeah, I promised in minute 87. I promised the 2 of our fan favorite characters coming back. So that's 1.
Boyd is 1.
Boyd is 1. And what's that? Do I hear a phone ringing? I think I do, because Ivan's wearing an earpiece, which I could not identify.
Yeah,
and it's "Here comes the hammer! Justin Hammer's back! Woo! Yeah, baby!" So but I agree. So he is Justin Hammer is golfing with Senator Stern. So we see them on there. But you're right. Like, it seems like for the amount of information that's going to be conveyed. So basically, Justin and Ivan are having a conversation. First of all, you didn't need Gary Shandling at all.
No, you didn't.
Second of all, you didn't need to rent out an entire golf course. Like, you could have had Sam Rockwell in the sweater vest with a golf club over everything against any background you wanted. Like, sitting in, you could have had him sitting on the lot in a golf cart and just like having the same conversation and just being like, no, go ahead, Senator, you continue on. And, like, have off screen. You didn't need to have extras. You didn't need to have all stuff. It's like, for the minuscule amount of information that's about to be conveyed, you did not need to spend this much time and money.
Okay, so wait, I tried to find the story about this. I couldn't even find the location. Do we know the golf course?
Yes, it's in. Oh shoot, he said it in the commentary, and I can't find it in my notes now. It is a golf course in California.
Okay.
Meadows, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not sure. Yeah, he does mention it.
Okay, so my joke about this was...
And even he wasn't sure, Jon Favreau wasn't sure if this golf course was supposed to be in California or supposed to be on the East Coast. Like, basically, like, he's
it's palm trees. It's got to be West Coast.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, okay, so, because even he was like sort of retconning that time, and he recorded the commentary before the movie came out. So he's like, okay, so are they, like, he's like, but Senator Stern is from Pennsylvania, so why would he be on the West? So they're on the West Coast, and they're going to get on a plane, and they're going to fly to the, but the headquarters for Hammer is in New Jersey. So,
well, this is why I'm like, wait a minute, right? Because here's the only answer. And again, if someone's found this, I mean, if there's a story that we'd love to hear, this was somebody who said, "Hey, Gary'd like to play golf, Sam, with you, and there's a shot we have to make. Yeah, would you guys like to play golf for the day?" And we maybe do a little filming.
Right. And I think that's how most Adam Sandler movies are done these days. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Sure. Shoot a movie while we're there? Okay.
All right.
Hey, I've never traveled around Europe. Maybe we should do a movie while there. Oh, okay.
Because what else? There's no way to explain this.
Yeah.
And you're right. Easily you could have filmed this like on a side lot with a golf cart, and that's it.
Right.
Like, okay, this just makes me laugh every time I see the scene. Like, what are you doing? What?
Like, well, spending that Paramount cash, huh?
Well, because guess what? This shot cost what? 40, 50 grand?
Oh, easily. And that's just like location fees. Like, you haven't even paid the actors for their time yet, or fed them, or extras,
there's
or
catering,
crew.
there's everything.
Right? Like they probably dropped 50 G's just to rent that golf course, like just to like have that for an hour.
What the world? Anyway, I just got a crack out of this. So
it's kind of nuts.
So there is a conversation that happens though.
Yes, there is. So Justin is calling Ivan, and he says, and because Ivan answers, Ivan has a headset on, and so answers as he's working. So has built a new arc reactor. We see. He says, "Hey, Ivan, I got Senator Stern here. Thought we'd swing over and look at some of the drone designs." Which, once again, this means that they're on the East Coast. So in actuality, they shot this on a golf course in California, but it's supposed to be on the East Coast because like they're in the neighborhood essentially.
But it's clearly not.
Clearly palm trees. Yes.
Clearly it's not. I mean, maybe South Carolina, but no, it's not.
It is not. No,
it's not.
So Ivan says the drone is not going to be ready. Justin says, "Not ready? What do you mean? I can make a presentation, not a demonstration." Interesting. So so even Justin says, "What the hell is the difference?" So what the hell is the difference between a presentation and demonstration? So as opposed to demonstration being it can do all the things that he wants it to do, like get up, walk around, do like fly, do all those things. He's saying that it's only can like do a trick, essentially. Like this actually kind of reminds me of the scene from Steve Jobs where like he wanted to have the Mac say hello.
Oh yeah,
that would be a presentation, not a demonstration.
Right. Well, but then like okay, but here I use another great Steve Jobs example. When he unveiled the iPhone. That had to be a demonstration. The guys who were doing it were like, dude, we're not We're not ready for this. There's a whole story. Go and Google that, because there's an amazing story about the guys who on the first iPhone were like, yeah, that was a lot of duct tape and but there is a difference. I mean, here, and this I think is kind of funny. Another telling moment here for Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
Not catching the semantics of, there is a difference between a presentation and demonstration.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Oh, yeah. And anybody who's a fan of video games knows. Like, this is the difference between the CG trailer they show you and what actual gameplay is. That's correct. Presentation or demonstration. And we've seen a hard lesson in that in what's going on at time of recording with Cyberpunk, because we realized that the demo that was shown at E3 wasn't actually a demo. They actually manufactured it to look like it was a demo.
Not cool.
Ooh, not cool. Not cool.
Not cool.
Yeah. Lying to the fans never ends well for you. So that's what the difference is. So Ivan says, presentation, no fly, no shoot. And Justin says, wait. 6 times. He says, wait 6 times. Wait. What can you make them do? I mean, this is a weapons demonstration. And Ivan says, I can make salute. And that's literally where the minute comes to an end. Now, there's a couple things going on here. So he says, I can make salute, which eventually we're going to see what he means by I can make salute.
Oh, right.
However, I did find a fan theory that says that there might be another meaning to it, because salute is actually Russian for firework.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Theory, but the thing is, he literally does have them salute, though.
He does. Well, he does have them salute, but I mean, we've already seen this. A lot of double meaning in what Ivan says.
Right.
So actually, sure, that all fits. That would all make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
no,
so you bring you get Sam Rockwell, you bring out Gary Shandling, don't have him say a word. Oh, speaking of Gary Shandling showing up, I watched some more behind the scenes stuff that I found, and they are showing them shooting the Monaco chase scene and the fight scene, and Gary Shandling showed up to that too. So they actually put him in the place of Ivan. So they actually have him pinched between the car and the thing. And so they show Jon Favreau behind the wheel, what are you doing? Get out! You're not even in this scene. Get out of here! And the camera pans over, and it's Senator Stern. It says it's Gary Shandling, standing with being pinched between the car, and then going, would you just back up, please? Just back up. And so the two of them do some shtick on the thing. So
he's not in that sequence.
He's not in that sequence at all, but that was shot in California. So he and Jon Favreau were friends. And so he would just come to the set at different times and do it. And of course, some of the stuff he says, I can't repeat on this because we're a PG podcast, and Gary Shandling was a rated R comedian at times. So
you know what I think is funny is, okay, now that's an interesting story in that I love the confidence that people have when you're making this kind of content, and that you could goof off like that.
Yeah, right?
Because I would be like, okay, everybody, just do your jobs.
Right.
We're not messing around.
I want to go to lunch. Can you guys stop messing around?
Shandling. There's probably for a MT movie. That sounds like something like an MT Movie Awards intro or something stupid.
Yeah. Oh. That was all right. Behind the scenes crew.
Well, salute, golf course.
He can make, that's right.
Ivan, something's happening.
Yep. And that brings us to the end of minute 88. So he can make salute, and we're not going to find out what that means for another couple minutes.
Hey, as we close up this minute and we're talking about golf, did you know that early golfers wore clothing to battle the elements in Scotland, where golf was born?
Oh, that makes sense. Scotland is known for its weather that makes people hale and hearty.
Now, of course, if you're maybe on the links, let's say, and of course you're probably on the miniature variety of links.
Sure.
What type of clothing do you think we would suggest people wear?
Well, I wouldn't tell people what to wear, but I would give them a wide selection of things they could choose from. If they went to someplace like, say, nextreel.com/merch, they could find a wide variety of clothing with our logo on it. And not only our logo, but all the Next Reel shows. They'll have their own there. They can choose to have, if they want to do it on a t-shirt or on a mask, which is super important right now. Are there hats? If they're not, there should be. And if you're not in the market for new clothing, perhaps you could blow a magnet or a sticker or something else to show that your fandom and to help us keep the show running. Because as we know, bandwidth ain't free.
You know, I'll tell you, when you wear a Marvel Movie Minute t-shirt, you'll always be under par.
And that's a Rob Cabasco guarantee.
Good Lord.
1% better. You get 1% better on the links. 1% better. So make sure you're back here for minute 89 when we hear Justin ask the immortal question, what do you mean make salute? The negotiations between the two of them continue. You don't want to miss the scintillating conversation. Enough said.
Bye.